Is that Jeff
Jeff
Bezos'
Bezos'
wife?
ex-wife.
She got remarried and
I
now
had a
she's
bit about it
divorced?
that I had to bail on the bit. Not even mean. It's not mean. The bit is that a woman worth she won $39 billion in the divorce settlement. So the bit was about a woman worth $39 billion marrying a dude worth $3,200.
Joe Rogan was in the middle of a conversation, and then Elon Musk just casually mentioned it, as if it was no big deal. No build-up, no introduction, nothing. He just said it. For a brief moment, everything around them seemed to freeze. The usual lighthearted vibe of the podcast disappeared in an instant. Joe didn't laugh or make a joke like he usually would. Instead, he leaned back in his chair. The way he looked at Elon, his eyebrows raised and eyes sharp, made it clear that even he didn't see this coming. Everyone knows who Lauren Sánchez is, or at least they think they.
Bezos' new wife, a skilled helicopter pilot, an ex-TV host. Always seen with a smile, attending glamorous yacht parties, and making appearances at high-profile galas. But in that moment, Elon Musk wasn't referring to her as the typical celebrity. Instead, he spoke of her as though she was a piece on a chessboard, and a dangerous one at that. The atmosphere shifted instantly. It was as if the tension in the room thickened. Elon didn't blink once, his focus unbroken. Joe remained silent, his usual quick-witted banter absent. It was then that you realized this conversation wasn't about idle gossip. It was a discussion about power dynamics. "She's not what people think," Elon remarked. Joe, understanding the weight of the words, simply nodded. There were no jokes, no smirks. Just that look Joe gets when someone speaks a truth he's been too polite to voice himself. Elon didn't outright accuse her of being manipulative.
The implication was clear and loud enough to cut through the conversation. Lauren Sánchez isn't just Bezos' wife. She might be the one pulling the strings. His handler, a strategist who doesn't just play the game, but rigs it in her favor. Joe Rogan's expression shifted, his discomfort palpable. It was as if he suddenly understood that this wasn't some tabloid gossip anymore. This was something much more serious. This was personal. Because when Elon Musk hints that Jeff Bezos, the wealthiest and most powerful man on the planet, might not even be the one truly calling the shots in his own life, it changes the narrative entirely. Lauren, once a former TV host, always poised for the cameras with her flawless smile and cowering designer heels, is a figure who's often seen standing next to Jeff on yachts, walking red carpets, and attending billionaire space launches. But behind closed doors, Lauren Sánchez is a whole different persona, a force to be reckoned with.
Those who are part of her inner circle don't refer to her as charming. Instead, they describe her as being extremely sharp, almost methodical. She doesn't simply attend influential gatherings. She meticulously observes them, remembers everyone's names, keeps track of past favors, and always makes thoughtful, strategic moves. The media often portrays her as part of some romantic fairy tale, but those who truly know the situation don't buy into that narrative. Her connection with Bezos wasn't a random event. It was the result of perfect timing, careful planning, and deliberate strategy. When Bezos had just come out of a $39 billion divorce, emotionally exposed, under intense public scrutiny, and in the process of reinventing himself as a global lifestyle icon, Lauren didn't sit back and wait for an invitation. She inserted herself into the story, quite literally flying into the picture. While the media portrayed her as just glamorous arm candy for a newly single billionaire, something far more calculated was unfolding behind closed doors. Lauren wasn't a passive observer in Bezos' space ambitions. She was actively involved, coordinating logistics for Blue Origin flights, filming launch events, and even advising on creative direction. She wasn't merely part of the spectacle, she was helping construct it. And then the narrative went even deeper. Whispers in elite tech circles suggested that after Jeff's divorce, Lauren didn't just move in. She presented a complete rebranding strategy, real pitch decks, full presentations. She wasn't there to comfort a heartbroken man. She came with a vision. She wasn't just supporting his image, she was actively re-engineering it. While it may have been love, from the outside, it looked far more like strategic leverage. Elon Musk didn't come out and say it outright, but the underlying message was hard to miss. Bezos wasn't the one leading the charge anymore. He appeared to be following a new direction, with Lauren clearly holding the compass. Post-divorce, Bezos didn't simply recover. He evolved. Suddenly, he was shirtless on luxury yachts, pumping iron, wearing high-end designer fashion, and passionately kissing Lauren on balconies, as if straight out of a blockbuster film. The media spun it as a billionaire finally embracing freedom and joy, living his best life. But skeptics like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk weren't convinced. Joe even half-joked on air that the whole transformation felt unusually choreographed. And here's the twist. It was choreographed, not in a cheesy Hollywood romance sense, but as a high-level, image-focused brand overhaul. Musk subtly pointed out that Lauren's influence was visible in every detail of the makeover. This wasn't just about romance. It was a strategic reinvention, a carefully designed public identity relaunch.
Lauren wasn't merely enhancing Bezos's public persona. She was strategically reshaping it from the ground up. While some may argue it was a genuine love story, to many observers it looked far more like a carefully calculated play for influence. Elon Musk never said it in plain words, but the implication behind his comments was unmistakable. Bezos no longer seemed to be steering his own ship. He was following a course Lauren appeared to chart with precision. After the divorce, Bezos didn't just make a comeback, he underwent a transformation. Suddenly, he was flaunting a chiseled physique on lavish yachts, lifting weights, donning luxury designer outfits, and engaging in dramatic public displays of affection with Lauren, like something pulled straight from a high-budget film. The media painted the picture of a man finally enjoying his freedom. But insiders like Joe Rogan and Musk remained skeptical. Joe even quipped that the entire transformation seemed oddly scripted, and in truth, it was. Not scripted in a rom-com kind of way, but executed like a corporate-level branding campaign. Musk insinuated that Lauren's strategic touch was behind every aspect of Bezos's glow-up. This wasn't simply a love affair, it was a calculated rebranding, a deliberately crafted evolution of identity presented to the world. The timing wasn't a matter of chance. It was carefully orchestrated. While the public likes to see Lauren as Bezos' soulmate, those in the know perceive something very different. She isn't just a partner, standing quietly beside the throne. She's actively helping to construct it, making calculated moves one step at a time. That was the subtle yet powerful message Elon Musk dropped. No loud accusations, just a slow-burning implication. Jeff Bezos, the man who built Amazon from his garage, might no longer be the one calling all the shots. Not in his company, nor in his personal life. Elon leaned in and said it without outright saying it. When you're aboard a rocket and unsure who's piloting, you're not in love. You're in serious trouble. That line landed like a sharp slap, because Bezos isn't just wealthy, he's the wealthiest person alive. Yet everything surrounding him now seems meticulously curated. The lavish parties, the carefully staged photos, the polished speeches, all packaged into a sleek new lifestyle brand. And at the heart of it all is Lauren, orchestrating dinners, managing public appearances, and crafting narratives that enhance the overall image. Joe fell silent again, not because he disagreed, but because he recognized the truth. The richest man on the planet might also be the most controlled. Rumors swirl about behind-the-scenes tensions, conflicting interests, and leaks, suspiciously timed to seem accidental. Some claim Lauren is pulling far too much influence, guiding too many of the key decisions. Others believe Bezos is gradually realizing that he's no longer the one writing his own story. And when a man with a $200 billion fortune starts feeling trapped, even by those closest to him, that's when complications inevitably arise. There's quiet but growing talk that things are starting to unravel. Lawsuits are looming. Private investigators are involved. Whispers about a prenuptial agreement being challenged, and a potential $5 billion fallout if everything falls apart. And if it does collapse, it won't be a silent split. This is far more than just a relationship.
It's a complex power structure. If Lauren falls, she certainly won't go down without a fight. Forget the glamorous yacht photos and magazine covers. They're just the surface.
The real story is that Lauren has been the architect behind Bezos' public makeover from the inside out. Sources claim she's responsible for the luxury branding, the sudden Hollywood-style glow-up, and even the timing of major press events. This wasn't someone who stumbled into power by chance. She built it carefully, brick by brick, using charm, access, and ruthless timing. But the unsettling part is no one can really tell where Bezos ends and Lauren begins. Elon hinted at it. Joe sensed it deeply. The unspoken question hanging between them is this: is Bezos still truly himself, or has he become a product of Lauren's vision? Because when the richest man in the world starts living more like a social media influencer than an innovator, you have to wonder, who's really writing the script? At this level of wealth and influence, nothing is ever simple. Love can sometimes resemble loyalty, but actually feel more like leverage. Public smiles often mask private tensions and silent standoffs. And when billionaires like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk start seriously discussing something, it's because they recognize the warning signs from experience. Elon's final assessment wasn't driven by emotion, it was sharp and calculated. Bezos isn't crashing, but he might be slowly drifting off course. And Lauren? She's not the problem. She's the wild card, the unseen force operating behind the scenes, and possibly the one holding the metaphorical eject button. So here's the question no one dares to ask out loud. Is Lauren Sánchez the undisputed queen of Bezos' empire, or is she the woman poised to set it all ablaze?